computer. Hi, everybody. We're back today with another episode of Howie's Hometown Heroes, where we showcase business owners, entrepreneurs, and community members who are doing extraordinary things in their community. Just like this guy, Jason Levine. He's an unbelievable guy. He's got a real estate office for the last couple of years, but it's going from zero before the pandemic to like $40 million. I don't care how many millions you have. 40 million is a lot of money for in anything, right? So anything. Jay's got an interesting name. You can almost see it behind him there. The name of his office is 194. We're going to ask him how he came up with that clever name in a second. Fun. But he tells me he started this real estate office from zero before the pandemic. Like he knew pandemic was coming and said, okay, we got to start a real estate office. Like
exactly. Like what a better time than to
time to do that, right? Exactly. So that's pretty cool. But I really like, he's got this great commitment to his family and the community. Zoning board, school board, little league, sports stuff, all over the place. How he has time to sell $40 million worth of houses, I don't know. But
I don't know either.
You don't know either. So we'll figure all that kind of good stuff out. So thanks for being here, Jay. It's been a long time. We've been trying to do this for a while. I'm glad you could be here.
Howie's Hometown Heroes. First off, Howard, thank you so much for having me. We've known each other now for a little over a year, I would say, yep. Through a mutual group that we're in. And I got to say that your commitment to your mastery, your commitment to showcasing other people's successes and wins, it's obvious that you are a person as well who is big with family and community, and I just appreciate you having me on the show.
Well, I think it's I think it's great. I think we are both like bouncing off the walls with energy here, so I think we'll both blow up the screen here in a little while. I think so.
I think be careful if you're watching. Don't watch too close because there might be some heat that just flies off the screen.
There you go. Exactly right. So Jay, how'd you get involved in real estate? And how did you know the pandemic was coming?
So I got some insider information. No, it's kind of funny you say that, which I won't really go into too far, but I was on the school board when the pandemic was happening. And so I did actually know about like schools shutting down and all the crazy things that were happening like 3 or 4 days before we told the public. So I definitely had like a 3 or 4 day period where I was panicking because I didn't know what was going on and I couldn't tell anybody. And I was definitely panicking, but we actually got into real estate. We started our own company in 2019, September 11th, 2019. But we were in the real estate business. We actually started #Team Levine.
Team Levine, that's right.
Team Levine, baby. We started Team Levine while we were working for a company called Venture Realtors. Venture Realtors was like a small boutique firm. And I knew then, a little foreshadowing, I knew then that marketing and branding were going to be really important and that relationships were going to be just about everything. I might not have been the best of students in school, but I definitely had an abundance of relationships and was always looking to, add value to other people. So that kind of carried through. So in 2016, I actually owned a Verizon wireless store with my wife, and my father worked with me. My father actually owned a hardware store back in the 80s, and I thought I was going to be like a hardware store owner one day, and it didn't really work out that well. But what he taught me was that relationships are truly everything.
Yep.
And he had relationships from when he was at the hardware store to this very moment that call him, trust him, and if they need him, they know he's there. So I always really, I guess, leaned into that relationships are going to be everything. It's who you know, not what you know.
Yeah, that's right.
More recently, I've experienced the fact that it's not just who you know, it's not just what you know, but it's really about what people think of you. And not to sound shallow, but your perception in the world is so important.
Yeah, absolutely.
And those relationships that you bring with you are vital for your success. So to answer your question directly, in 2016, I got my real estate license on May 23rd. It was my son's 5th birthday.
Whoa.
So I remember clearly.
I could never remember that stuff. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, this is why I remember, because it was my son's birthday. Also, too, to be honest, Howard, this at that point, I was actually $250,000 in debt with my Verizon wireless store. So I wasn't really in the best state at that moment, but I knew that I could no longer work for or run a company that had the stronghold of this big corporation that was dictating everything that I did. So we got into real estate with the expectation that we were going to open our own brokerage one day. And that one day, was September 11th,
11th.
1 year after September 11th, when I shut my Verizon store down to the date, not on purpose, to the date. And we opened up 194 Real Estate Group, like you said, right before this whole global pandemic thing. Thankfully, we were very busy prior to that, building relationships. And during the pandemic, we didn't have a choice but to keep moving forward.
Yeah.
Because we had clients already depending on us. And yes, there was fear. Yes, there was uncertainty. But when we started that, we started with, like you said, like about 5 agents with really, nothing other than our name. And we've grown over the last few years, going from, new to 20 million to 30 million to pacing 40 million this year.
Wow.
With our team and 20 agents. And it's been an amazing ride, Howie. So thank you.
I bet. And I've been watching your reels on Facebook and running around with your son helping you out and all kind of stuff. I think it's a great way to showcase, you and the agency and Catherine and all the other people that are going on there. So very, very cool way to do that branding and putting yourself out there.
And that's really what it's all about. That marketing, that branding, we want people to know who we are. And I'm always a firm believer in, like, how you do anything is how you do everything.
Yeah, that's for sure.
So real estate's fun. It is, but it's also boring if you don't care about it. So instead of being a realtor, what I look to do is connect with people, add value. I'm a relationship cultivator.
I like that.
Every day I go out and I meet new people.
Yep.
And when I'm hyper intentional about who I meet, it leads to business and impact in the world. And it's been an amazing, amazing adventure for the last few years.
There you go. That's what we call that, an adventure. That's for sure. That's for sure. Very cool. Very cool. So do you have any success stories of people you bought, sold houses for? Like, what kinds of things have come up?
So every deal is different. And I got to be honest, to answer that truthfully, I really feel that every deal is a success, because what we look to do is not get a commission check. We realize that a commission check is part of the process. It's going to happen, but it happens last.
Yeah.
So if I focus on that, I am going to miss all of the things that happen throughout the journey that are causing people or helping people and causing them to feel seen, heard, like what they say matters. So for me, it's really the journey and the process. The success starts the minute we start to talk to them, because now we know that if they allow us in and help them, that they're going to get to where they need to be. In particular, if I had to give a specific example, just recently, we're appointed by a local judge for when a divorced couple can't decide on a realtor. They trust on us, which is an incredible thing. And
really, that's great.
It's amazing. It's amazing, and we're blessed. But it's also because we really do, in my opinion, we do a really great job for people. So we had a woman that was going through a divorce, had no credit because depended on the husband for most of her actually here from overseas initially, so didn't really had no establishment. And we were able to not only get them out of the house seamlessly, and it was a very arduous case.
I bet.
There was a lot of emotions involved in this, and we were able to not only sell the house within a few days for top dollar, but we were able to find one of our clients a home rented, but through Airbnb. We didn't get paid on it. It wasn't about the dollar. It was about making sure that she was protected and safe in where she was going next.
Yeah.
Because quite honestly, that had a direct correlation to the deal that we were doing. So, for us, it's just about making sure that we're really listening to what the clients need, because this is not for me, Howard. This is not for me. As much as it is for me, if I don't make it for them, I'll never get to where I want to be.
That's right. It's always about the client and what you can do for them, and how they feel when after a year after the transaction.
Yeah.
I know so many realtors and mortgage people and everybody in the real estate world who can't wait to get to the closing table and get the hell out and go on to the next one. And it's such a waste when you miss a lot of those pieces that are.
Yeah, and you're making it harder on yourself, to be quite honest.
Exactly.
It's this. I was someone in school, in life, who maybe I have better language for this than before, but in a way, I always looked for a bit of a shortcut. I was always somebody that tried to figure out a more effective, more efficient way to do something that maybe stemmed from laziness, because I didn't want to do all of it. But then I started to fine tune it into ingenuity And as long as what I was doing, the shortcut I was taking was integrous and led to the same result, then it wasn't really a shortcut. It was just a better way to do it.
Yeah.
So that's what we constantly look into in our business and ourselves, is what can we do to innovate vertically within our organization to make what we're doing even more intentional. And one of the new shifts that we're doing is we connect with a lot of people like yourself, Howard, and in your industry.
Yep.
And sometimes it stops there, but how do we make it now that we can have some what we call ecosystem flow? And obviously I know you're aware of this, how we can flow from one ecosystem to the next
Yep.
seamlessly without much friction. And we're doing it to ourselves by adding the friction ourselves when we have opportunities in front of us that are very nicely paved.
Awesome.
So that's really what we're focusing on, is connecting with partners like yourself.
Yeah.
And then asking for the connections further than that to add value to you and that person.
Yeah, I think and it goes back to, who knows you and who do you know and all that kind of good stuff.
Right.
Really
What do they think about you? Do you have, some people have a sales flow. We have a sales flow where what we do brings sales in, but that's because we have a certain image in the world of what we do. So how do we get that same image in with attorneys, with bankers, with accountants, with money managers? How do we make them think about 194 and Team Levine in the same way that the buyers and sellers do? So that's the next focus, is really adding value to the ecosystems around us.
Yeah. Very good. Awesome. I think that's a great approach to it. And everywhere you look, there's ways to optimize and move forward and build more relationships with people you never even thought of, kind of before. So we got to go back to the beginning though. Where'd the name 194 come from?
So ready for this one? It's very suspenseful. So we are located at 194 Main Street in New Milford. And we were clever enough to take that number and put it in our name.
Wow.
So my wife, bless her, I love my wife. She is a by trade and by degree, she is a graphic designer, and she actually she ran magazines for certain car companies, Toys R Us, Sesame Street. She did all these types of magazines.
Wow.
Yeah, she was the designer. So we have a very high quality design department at 194 because of my wife. And my wife, who was working in the city, said a lot of the buildings are named after their address, and I love the way it looks. So that's where 194 was born.
Well,
but
very creative and a lot. Right, that's a great story. And and
Howard, check this out. We're at an open house, right? And my name is Jay Levine, Team Levine. I am a Jewish guy, and although maybe I need more practice, but I'm a Jewish guy. And I had an open house in a town called Hallworth, and I had a woman come in. She was not Jewish, and she looked at me and she said, 194 real estate group, is that a Bible quote? And I said, oh, no, it's not. Well, I mean, maybe it is.
Maybe it is.
And you know what I found out? Although I think it was a Bible quote, which wasn't relevant, the numbers 194, if you look them up in numerology, stand for integrity. And I did not know that.
Well, there you go.
So, great story. It is not a Bible quote. It is our address, but we stand for integrity.
There you go. That's a great way to look at it. I love that. So where's Team Levine going in the next 3, 5, 10 years? What's going on there?
Going to the moon, baby. No. So that's a great question, and I appreciate it. And we look ahead to the future at the same time as trying to figure out what it is we got to do right now. What kind of zone action to get there. So for us, it's growth. It's growth for our agents, it's growth for ourselves and our developments, growth in numbers. I can see us, I don't see us, and no offense to anyone out there in the big companies, but I don't see, we've been approached by the EXPs, the Keller Williams. I just don't see it for us. And I hope, Howard, that it's not my ego that's preventing me from that, but I don't think it is. I think there's the name means something to me. The growth means something to me. And I think what we're doing here is special. And I can see in the next 3 to 5 years, everybody knowing the name 194.
Yeah. And it's going to spread all over New Jersey. That's for sure.
All over New Jersey. We'll keep it going. We'll go New Jersey. We'll go Florida. We'll go California. We'll go all over the place.
There you go.
Canada. My wife's from Canada. So.
There you go. We'll sell all of Canada too.
Yep.
Awesome. So Jay, this has been awesome. Awesome being on the show today. I really appreciate you being here. It's awesome. So for everybody out there looking to buy or sell a house in northern New Jersey, Team Levine is the place to go. So
hey, and also if you're looking to just connect, I love connecting with people like Howard. So if you're looking to connect, I'm down to connect too.
There you go.
Lawyers, doctors, attorneys, financial professionals. I love it.
Yeah, we'll put all that stuff together. So for you out there, if there's somebody you know who you think would be a good guest to be on Howie's Hometown Heroes, put their name in the comments, send me a message, do whatever. So, and just remember, whether it's your family, your business, your community organization, all that kind of stuff, it's money that makes those gears keep turning. So make sure your money is running. That's easy for me to say, right? Make sure your money is working the most optimal way it can.
Yes.
Thanks, Jay. See you next time.